Do you think it's important for them to get a couple of guys that have played for Jim Schwartz? Just they know how Jim Schwartz operates. They know what the defense Jim Schwartz runs looks like when it is running effectively. Does that help if Jim Schwartz gets quote unquote his guy or two in here?
I think it helps Jim Schwartz feel better because he has a voice in the locker room, and that might be honestly, that kind of stuff is less about getting the defense installed and more about having a good grasp on what's actually going on in the locker room and what players are saying and what players are frustrated with in the locker room, more than the actual installment, because the installment's going to be the installment. He's run this defense enough to where he don't need help. He knows how to install this defense. But what could help him is having somebody in that locker room that he trusts, that he knows is gonna be holding it down for him and can tell him, hey, like last year. So nobody was able to go to Joe Woods and be like, hey, man, Jadeveon, you don't like this role. You need to have a conversation with him. He don't like how you talking about him. He just feels some type of way about this whole situation. I need you to have to talk to him because he's frustrated. Nobody was in the locker room like that for Joe Woods. So that just came out, right? That's what that guy's helpful for Jim Schwartz, is where, somebody like Randy Graham could come up to him and be like, hey, you might want to talk to Greedy because Greedy really is having a hard time accepting his role. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Understanding which players are going to be having issues with that. It's more of a locker room thing. And that can help with installation because the less friction you have in the locker room, the less friction you're going to have installing stuff. But as far as the actual act of installing it, I don't think it would be that much more helpful.